Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the official talent show. This is your host, the Peace Dealer, and I hope you're ready for this extravagant boost. I just recently got up out of bed. I know. Actually, I don't know, but I do know. It's the new moon in Leo. We're activating this energy. New moon in Taurus. After we activated power in Aries, we activated natural energy. Then we activated a new perspective because once you generate energy, it produces a fixed effect. Okay? That effect is magic. Then after Gemini, we generated more power in Cancer, emotional, sincere, psychic power. And now we're charging this power with courage and boldness. Okay? Leo is a social sign. And opposite Saturn, you're going to be more aware of the consequence of how socialization with men and women specifically has occurred. So I want to speak to something that's very hot right now. I'm going to make sure I ran about this for less than 4 minutes. The whole notion that men are more feminine and women are more masculine. It's very easy to demonize women for not dressing modestly these days. It's very, very easy to demonize men for not acting as masculine these days. And it's very easy to blame porn or masturbation for what's happening, and all that's rubbish. The reason why men are more feminine isn't because they watch more porn and masturbate. These are symptoms. If you think, first of all, this applies to women. So women watch just as much porn, if not more. This is statistically proven than men. It's very easy to demonize men for, you know what I'm saying, playing with themselves. But the rise and proliferation of vibrators and games women do, women who have also been slut shamed for using that, we don't really see a lot of that commentary. Like it's very easy to talk down a man for doing that, but a woman can play with her pussy all day, like stuff like that. And now I'm not trying to highlight double standards. This is hurting men and women, okay? Specifically, men and women born after the late 80s. The huge reason why you have more feminine men is that it's not that they're feminine. For the first time, okay, since the 60s, 50s, where men in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, if you notice, they never had problems with, oh, how come you're not more masculine? Like, they never had those issues. They had Uranus and Neptune in Sag, masculine signs. They had Pluto and Libra, hyper masculine. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Some had Pluto Leo, hyper masculine. Other people had Uranus and all that in Libra. You have a whole group of men born in the late 80s and 90s who have Uranus and Neptune in Capricorn, Pluto and Scorpio. This is deeply feminine energy and power. You have a whole bunch of men and women who are taught to suppress this. So this is where you start to see a lot of men processing this depth of feminine as a kid, and they're being told as a kid, don't be a bitch, don't cry. All right, men who don't know how to process this level of deep emotions are being told to suppress it. They're not given an outlet to express it. Fast forward to now too, unlike those men who went to war. Okay, a lot of kids here don't have that experience. They don't have proper parenting. They don't have any good leadership. And when they are masculine, they're told to stop being toxic. So if you're surprised that men and women watch more porn, what outlet or expression for healthy sexuality have they been taught or given? The problem with today's men and women is the entirety of society that reinforces these norms. It's the men and women who, instead of acknowledging the rebellion of these young girls who saw the bullshit of how they're being suppressed and now broke through that, you slut shame them. Instead of acknowledging the deepening of psychic and feminine receptivity that men have had, you shamed them. Now some of them never had that outlet and they're confused about their orientation. Others of them have no other way to express themselves but in these perverted sexual ways, and now you think they're incels or weird. So you're doing men and women bad. I just wanted to share that because a lot of the commentary and rhetoric is it doesn't help. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't speak to the actual issue, which is a blatant lack of leadership, brainwashing, and lying to Pluto Scorpio kids, Pluto Sag kids, and wondering why they don't get with the program. We need to dead this shit. We need to stop dissing these young kings. We need to stop shaming these young queens. That's basically it. So this new moon in Leo, opposite Saturn, is pushing you forward with all these themes and how you uniquely individualize and bring yourself to the social environment, not who society expects you to be, not fulfilling this gender role that because I'm a man or a woman, I have to act and behave. All those protocols are dead. Pluto in Capricorn has killed all of that tradition. That's why you see the upheaval in the world that we have right now. You have a whole bunch of people trying to cling on to an old way of doing things, but we're in a new age. And so people either get it and some people don't. The capacity for you to adapt and innovate is going to be really indicating of whether you can make it through this ordeal or not this next few years. So keep that in mind, because there's a courage in expressing this quality and level of your individuality where certain ideas, like certain thoughts I shared here, are not going to be popular, are not going to be well accepted. But instead of, slinking down and getting angry, I have my right as a being to express my thoughts, and I'm going to stand on what I say. And anyone that doesn't like it, there we go. See, you already know what I was about to say. SMD, SMD, SMD. And that's not meant to be immature as much as it is meant to be actual standing on my own too, and not necessarily backing down, something that most people are afraid to do because they don't know who they are. Well, this Leo season is going to light a fire in the expression of who you are. If Aries are the actions that embolden your character, Leo is the creativity of expression to add more color and exuberance and vibrancy into it. And once again, the opposition series to Saturn we're going to have will highlight this, but that trine we're having to Jupiter will boost this. So take opportunities to put yourself out there. Jupiter is 9th house to this new moon, and so you're looking up philosophically at how you've expanded your identity. That goes into how much more bold you express yourself. Mercury is squaring Uranus. Keep that in mind, because elements of your own expression of courage will intimidate people. And most people are cowards. Instead of actually being honest with the fact that you challenge them, it's very easy for them to act like they're cooler than you, to just say weird remarks that have no context to what's happening in an effort to make you feel like they're better or to put you down. When you recognize that nothing real can be threatened and such actions are fake, you don't even have to acknowledge them. You just moving forward and not even letting it get to you. And I'm not saying don't let it get to you. I mean, actively seeing it for what it is and not lowering yourself vibrationally puts that person in their place, and you see them get more frustrated and trying to attempt that more. Anyone who's secure in themselves would never have to engage in that behavior. So the fact that they do that is you exposing insecurity directly or indirectly in others. Once again, I'm going to say this again, because this happens a lot in Leo. The healthy Leo speaks very confidently about their exploits because it's inspirational, and people who are strong and secure see that, and that Leo is never really bragging. Okay, they do it so that they can uplift themselves and others to be like, look, this is what I can do, we win together. The unhealthy Leo is going to say these things to have a sense of self-importance over and better other people, like it's a competition. Like, okay, what are you on? What are you doing? And it's not the Leo aspect that's bad, it's the intent behind it. And it can also happen to Leo. It happens a lot to Leo, maybe even more than you would think, where people always try and compete with Leo. People always try, and I don't mean just Leo suns and moons, I mean the Leo energy that can exist in you too. And so just keep that in mind, because this is going to help you break through any sense of like social nuance in the outdated way of this hierarchy of who's cooler or not, by just moving forward eccentrically and not even lowering yourself by including yourself in these dynamics. The weirder you can get in response to people being too cool, that's cool, the better, okay? And you're breaking out of that matrix of having to fit in that box. That should feel weird. So if it doesn't feel weird or strange, you're not doing it right. The whole psychological notion of feeling normal is an illusion. There's no such thing as normal. There's only normal according to a system, according to a group. That's not bad. That's just how things work. But when you recognize that you're working within a subjective system, nothing objective. The only thing objective is the breath you breathe. I'm not going to say the only thing, but like, relative to this example. And so this new moon is geared towards pushing you forward, so much excitement in the discovery of how you take the individual that you are, go on stage, express these talents, and begin to practice it. Because after you get off stage, you're going to have strengthened what your talents are. In Virgo season, will have you practice, make perfect, and then in Libra, present this in the social situations. The best part about this new moon in Leo is that this is the application of the first boss battle. And so you have activated your strength. As a light activation dictates, or as you step into this light activation, it's going to cast a shadow, and it's going to attract shade. It's going to attract bugs that want to come to your light. It's going to attract more confrontation. Leo is courage. And so the forces that have an issue with the disconcordance that your frequency causes them to have dissonance over will confront you. This is that Saturn opposition. We had the Pluto opposition, now we have the Saturn opposition. And your mission is to stand your ground and meet what confronts you and get through it. Don't find a way around the conflict. Don't find a way to avoid the conflict. Okay? Leo is the warrior king. You're going to actually put the armor of God on. You're going to kick some ass. And you're going to take some names. Leo season is victory. It's through this expression of courage. Like you should feel no fear at this point, because what really is there to fear? Like that was the whole purpose of the last 4 months, to identify the blockages that get in the way of fully expressing yourself. So now that you're on stage, you can fully express yourself, especially to a crowd that may not even like you, and be like, yeah, I still did that, bitch, and basically confront directly any challenge, any opposing challenges. Imagine you're the champion and you're accepting open challenges, or you're the challenger and you're ready to get that belt. Okay, so let this Leo season be flourishing. Be very open to confront any attacks on your self-esteem, any perspectives that seek to undermine you. You have a voice, okay? You have a heart. It's time to step into that courage. It's okay to be wrong, guys. It's okay to be wrong, all right? Don't let anybody try and hold it against you that one of your ideas or perspectives are wrong. It's wrong if you're stubborn and you don't change your mind. But if you're wrong and you're able to change how you think, shit happens every day. No one is above that. Okay, so don't let your fear of being wrong stop you from expressing what it is you want to express. It's not about being right or wrong. It's about being real and not fake. There are people who are right all the time, but they're fake as hell. Okay, and they'd rather be right than real. I would rather be real and wrong and just find out what's right than fake. It is what it is. So the joy and the excitement you bring into this, the courage and the power you bring into this is everything you're going to get out. Stand on your convictions and ideals and charge this energy. By charging the excitement and the passion you do anything with, this will literally charge your abilities and it'll charge your power. Because of the light and fire element of this, it's also going to lead towards seeing the social context of how, coming into Virgo, you even utilize these abilities. So this is a new moon cycle. New moon in Leo is the first activation. Manifesting it in Virgo is the next activation, where you'll literally manifest tangible proof of what energy you're activating. And then Libra is the third part of the activation, where we now take action to present this charged energy. Okay, where we're getting excited and then we're presenting it in Libra with intellect and balance and all that bullshit. So what's very important is to really highlight on what you're charging. What is it that you're activating? Because this will influence quite greatly the direction you take it. So for those of you who are ready, this new moon is going to give you the charge. Okay, this new moon is definitely going to activate more of a strengthening the more you harness this. And every time you do not confront what will help you gain courage, you're not charging it. You're going against that. You have to go through the conflict, the drama. For some of you, it won't even be drama, okay? But you still have to go through that so that you can gain more strength. Just like you have to fight battles in a video game to level up. So anyway, y'all stay blessed as always. And until next time, Godspeed. Happy New Moon. Peace.